Hey, Wellness Crew! Welcome to Yoga with Jenna. I am so excited that you're here, and we have a very fun free flow routine today. That's not going to be too crazy. Maybe it will be crazy. We don't know. It's free flow. So, we are going to go ahead and start with sun salutations. So, we're going to raise our arms up overhead, breathe in. Swan dive forward into a forward fold. Walking our hands forward into plank. Coming into a hover. So just the palms of our hands and the balls of our feet are in contact with the mat. Coming into upward dog. Tucking our toes underneath for downward dog. Extending our left leg up. Now our right, our left, now our right. Coming back into plank. Coming back into hover. And opening our knees to come back into child's pose. Coming back into plank. Downward dog. Walking our hands backwards for forward fold. Slowly rolling up. And ending in mountain. Taking a nice few deep breaths right here. It's raining outside and I love the sound of rain. So calming. All right, breathing in, hands up. Swan diving into forward fold, exhaling. Walking our hands forward into plank. Coming into hover. Coming into upward dog. Tucking our toes underneath for downward dog. Coming onto our knees, stepping our right foot forward for a kneeling lunge. Nice deep breath. And getting a really nice stretch right here. Bringing our hands to the mat, switching legs. For a kneeling lunge on our left leg. Bringing our hands to our mats, coming into plank, hovering, upward dog, and back into child's pose. Coming back into plank. Downward dog. Extending our left leg up. Then our right leg. Left leg. Right leg. Left leg. Right leg. Stepping our left foot forward, our right foot meets it. Forward fold. And slowly rolling up. Breathing in, reaching our arms up. Swan dive forward into a forward fold. Walking our hands forward into plank. Hovering to cobra. So our bodies are on the mat, but we're holding our chest up off of the mat with our hands. To upward dog. Nice deep breaths. Tucking our toes underneath for downward dog. Stepping our right foot forward in between our legs for crescent lunge. You can extend your arms up overhead, or if you feel more comfortable just having your hands above your knee, that is totally fine. I do both. It just depends on how I feel. Bringing our hands down to our mat, going into a brief plank so we can switch sides for that crescent lunge. Bringing our hands back down to our mat for plank. Hovering. To cobra. Upward dog. Tucking our toes underneath for downward dog. Lifting our left leg up, bringing it back. Our right leg, and flow with your breath. One more on each side. Walking our hands back into a forward fold. And slowly rolling up. My mats are playing with me today. So let me adjust them real quick. Sorry, y'all. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and get into our chair pose flow. So bringing our arms back behind us, keeping them straight right in front of us, breathing in, exhaling, breathing in, exhaling. We're going to widen our stance just a little bit, so that way we can do sunflowers. So our hands are our arms are kind of curved in a C shape. And we bring it down more like a deadlift or a good morning than anything else. We're bending our knees, and then we're coming back to a standing position with straight legs. Inhale, exhale. All right, turning our feet out a little bit more, coming into a squat, extending our arms to where our palms are facing the sky. This is sun pose. We're going to come in to warrior one. So that back foot is going to be angled. We're going to have our front knee nice and bent, reaching for the sky. If you need to play around with the positioning of your back leg, go ahead and do so. I do it all the time. Because I'm like, I don't know, should it be deeper? It's all on how your body feels and as your body is adjusting with continued yoga practice. Coming into warrior two, so that those back toes are going to extend forward the way that your torso should be. But I know it gets a little bit confusing because of the fact that we're looking to our right side. All right, we're going to do the scoop. Bring it back into reverse warrior, straight, making sure that that back leg is nice and straight, keeping that front knee bent. And if you want to do a half bind with your left arm, like that, feel free. Coming back into warrior two, and coming back into sun pose. Coming into warrior one on our left side, extending our arms straight overhead, trying to have our hips facing the direction that our torso and our head is facing, reaching up nice and tall as much as you can, keeping that front knee bent. And taking nice deep breaths. Coming into warrior two, so that those back toes are facing forward, just like your torso should be. And just like I said, I know sometimes that just gets a little complicated because our head is supposed to be facing our left arm. We're going to go ahead and scoop, reach forward. Now come back into reverse warrior, keeping that front knee bent, that back leg straight, not necessarily locked out, just straight. And then if you want to do that half bind with your right arm, by all means, feel free. Coming back into warrior two. And then coming back into sun pose. We're going to straighten out our legs for a forward fold. You can touch the ground if possible. You can wrap your hands around your ankles, have them behind your calves, your hamstrings. Wherever you are in this position is totally fine. I always encourage play. So play around with the position to see what works best for you. And from here, we're going to slowly roll up. We're going to come into my original. We're going to come into the yoga twerk. So a wide squat stance, pop up, and then half good morning it, or yeah, half good morning it up. Squat, pop it, half good morning it up. I'm just kidding. All right, very good. All right, now that we've done some movement, we're going to do more movement. So our feet nice and wide. We're going to go ahead and squat, bringing our elbows in and extending our arms as we straighten our legs. For you know what? Moonflower. Very good. From here, we're going to get back into plank. We're going to step our right foot out, lift, lower, bring it back in. Left foot out, lift, lower, bring it back in. Now we're going to bring our right knee to our right elbow. Same thing on the other side. We're going to go into downward dog. Plank. Kiss the mat with our knees. Go back into downward dog. Plank. Kiss the mat with your knees. And back into downward dog. 3 more. Very good. Coming into child's pose. And coming into a standing position. Okay, so this is a stretch as well as a balance movement. So, or balance pose, I should say. So we're gonna lift our right knee, ground your left foot. You can even point your right toe if you would like. And switching sides. This time bringing that right knee out. And switching sides. Bringing our right ankle to our left thigh. You can have your hands however you would like. I like to have mine in prayer position, but I also sometimes like to have them in that mountain pose position. And it's really humid here, so my legs are sweaty. There's a little bit of sliding going on. Slide. Hopefully you get that reference. All right, switching sides. Okay, now from there, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come into full eagle. So that means we're gonna bring our right leg, try to wrap our foot around. Here we go. We're gonna bring our left arm underneath our right for like a twisted prayer position. Aw. Close, 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 close to my goal. All right. Switching sides. Now bringing that right arm underneath. Awesome. All right, releasing from that, we're going to go ahead and go into warrior 3. So I will be using my momentum this time to hopefully get the pose looking pretty. But, sometimes we have different, spots in our body that are tight. We may be working on them, but our bodies are always a work in progress when it comes to flexibility and mobility. So, using a little bit of momentum, stepping that right foot, see, limiting belief. Stepping our right foot forward, extending our arms straight, our left leg back. All right. Now doing it on our left side. Okay, just want to make sure my mic is still on. I've done a lot of videos today. That foot positioning is so important. All right, very good. Okay, so we're gonna come into a seated straddle. We are not going to lean forward. We're actually gonna lean back and work on widening our legs when comfortable. So we're gonna be here for a moment. And it's always important to have goals that you're working on. Now, I have goals in a lot of different arenas of my life, and I am very blessed that a lot of them are being worked towards. That comes from intrinsic motivation, but it also comes, I believe, from the universe and from my higher power. So, initially, my goal was to get my right and left split, like crotch to the ground, you know. And then I decided, why am I limiting myself to just that? Why wouldn't I also work on increasing or being able to do the middle split? The other thing too is that we oftentimes have super tight inner thighs unless we've worked on it extensively. So this is one of those things where it's not only your upper thighs, it's also your knees. It's also, you may even feel the top inside of the bottom of your leg. But pushing your pelvis forward and trying as you might within comfort, range, not like where you're super comfortable and not progressing, but getting to the point where you're, able to, okay, well, it's been a bit of time. Like, I even feel it in my foot. And that's what happens. Our bodies, because of all of the sitting that we do, which I understand for some people is kind of like, it's hard to get out of that because of work. If you work like a regular 9 to 5 job, I get it. So yeah, it might be a little bit more difficult for you. With some of the stuff that I'm working on, I do have to be seated during the day. So I feel you a little bit on that. And that's why I try to incorporate a lot of different modalities into my yoga. And that's why when people are asking for really, extensive, crazy poses that are beautiful on Instagram and are great for yogis, What they are not putting into concept of is how long it takes to get to those positions, you know, and how much time, how many hours are being spent to get into those positions and to get into that, you know, have that photo be that certain way. It would, you know, there are some people that can get it just like that. But I like to live in the real. I like to be authentic. And so my goals are the priority. But when it comes to like pose requests and things like that, you know, by all means. But this is also something that was created for the novice in yoga. Starting from, you know, being a novice, now you're further along if you've been following along since day one. When I look back on that day one video, I'm like, what? But, you know, all right, let's try one more time to just get a little bit more out. And you can just see that it does take time to kind of open up, stretch out those muscles, and it's really good to do it when it's warm. So that's why with a lot of my programming, it's set up the way that it is. And breath is important. We all know that. Okay, slowly closing our legs, being good. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, we're going to get into pigeon. So right leg first. You can, if you're starting from wherever you're starting from, you can start right here with your palms of your hand on the mat, progressing to your forearms, progressing to your forehead on your forearm, then progressing to extending your arms straight and your forehead on the mat. All right, slowly walking our hands in, kicking out that leg just a little bit, bringing our left foot forward. And again, you can start with your, you know, palms on your mat, progressing to your forearms, progressing to your forehead on your forearm, progressing to your arms fully extended and your forehead on the mat. All right, very good. It is now time for Shavasana. So, I don't know what that is. Having our legs extended, our hands extended, our palms facing the sky. Taking a few nice deep breaths. Imagining your favorite scent being inhaled. Having gratitude to your body for what it accomplished today in this practice. and understanding that there are no limits to what we can do. It's only limits that we're creating in our minds. And that even goes for me with my splits. All right. Going ahead and coming out of Shavasana. I am so grateful that I got to join you today with this practice. I love doing yoga and I love instructing it. And just understand that there is a reason for the progressions that I do. So everything is free flow now for the most part, but planned out according to if wherever you're starting from, that you could still, for the most part, be able to do the majority of the poses. So I cater to all. Not really, but sometimes. All right, everyone. I'll see you on the next video. Be well. Stay wild.